Well, good afternoon. I'm Ken Biberai, and welcome to Coffee with Ken, a thought leadership series at the nexus of business, politics, and golf, apparently. I'm thrilled to be filming here in Scottsdale, Arizona at Troon North today for a conversation about the business of golf. We are joined by Tim Schantz, the president of Troon. Thank you for having us.
Thank you for having me be here.
This is,
pretty amazing. Great way to spend a Friday afternoon.
The best setting we've ever had for Coffee with Ken.
Well, and that's, I'll let you be the judge of that.
It's amazing. Well, look, right out the gate, you have a pretty amazing career. You started as a lawyer at Latham & Watkins, right? So you're on this legal track. Mm-hmm. Fast forward, 2022, you're the #1 most powerful person in golf, according to Golf Inc. magazine. Tell us about that journey.
Well, it's been a great journey, Ken. Thanks for having me, first of all. It's really
and thanks for having us.
Pleasure to meet you personally, and I'm glad you enjoyed your day out on the golf course. That's great, and it has been a great journey. I'm in my 26th year at Troon. I joined when we had about 15 locations around the world, and at that point just in the U.S. Company started right where we are today, and couldn't be happier. I had a great career at Latham, worked for a hotel management company after that, and found my spot here. So it's been awesome.
So you were telling me before we started, I played today here on the Pinnacle course, and the homes, unbelievable.
Yes.
The development, the scenery.
Yes.
But take me back. What was this like when this course first opened?
Yeah, I think, I can't have an interview like this without talking about Dana Garmany, the founder, classic entrepreneur, created what we're sitting in right now, along with his partner at the time, Jerry Nelson, and a few other folks that were his original team, if you will. But created 18 holes in the middle of the virgin Sonoran Desert, very well received. I think it was ranked coming out of the gate as the best conditioned golf course in America by Golf Magazine. Pretty tough accolade to win. It had a lot of demand. It sort of set the bar for daily fee golf in a very competitive marketplace. And so this is where the company started, literally and figuratively. The idea for what is now Troon, the golf management company that I'm the president and CEO of, started here with this original, what was then an 18-hole golf course, now 36 holes.
So I spent a little bit of time in working in real estate, and I understand hotel management and restaurant management, but tell us a little bit more about golf management, and what does this mean, and what exactly is Troon doing?
Well, it's an easier conversation with you if you have a good understanding of those two businesses. We're just like a hotel management company, but we're focused on golf and golf-related hospitality. And so we provide a turnkey operating solution for our clients. We have a few owned assets inside the portfolio, but that's really a smaller part of our business than working for individual owners and clients who are trying to achieve whatever goal they're trying to achieve with their golf-related asset. So, the business is got 35,000 employees. We're in 45 states, 30 countries. It's big in the space. I think we're probably the largest in the space. I think we're the best at what we do, and that's part of being the largest, I guess. And it's a lot of fun. It's if you go back to when the company started, Dana successfully created what was then and has become a little bit of a cliche, kind of the member for a day experience. Come to a golf facility. You're not part of a country club, but you're having that type of experience. So things that we take for granted, he was a part of introducing. Somebody greeting you when you come to a daily fee golf course, taking your bag, you're hitting golf balls on the range that you haven't paid for. They're included in the price of the round of golf. A really strong focus and dedication to high quality agronomics, fancy way of saying growing grass. And all of those things added up to people coming here and experiencing this and saying, gosh, I want to build a golf course and surround it with a real estate development, or I want to amenitize my hotel. Do you think you could do that again? And in his mind, somebody hadn't been providing that type of business service to that point, and it was an opportunity to create a business kind of out of nothing. Waited a little bit before he got his first second client, if you will. Didn't want to have that sort of second restaurant effect. And then from there, it just took off.
And by takeoff, there's like 820 locations now, right?
We have
only 40 states
full,
and 30 countries.
Yeah, that's right. Full operational management of about 600 locations. over 600 18-hole golf courses, touch 825 locations because we have a racket sports division. We're in caddy management services. We have a big business that's centered around golf and golf-related hospitality.
So what I find so fascinating about this is you come a bit from hospitality hotel experience, real estate, law experience, but you also have this experience kind of structuring real estate deals. So what is this kind of, it seems like you've hit upon the ultimate nexus of golf, hospitality, real estate, management, right? It's not just a golf course.
I loved my career at Latham. It's where I started. I had great mentors. I feel lucky. I'm a state school guy. I went to the University of Colorado, went to the University of Kansas for law school. And I don't think I could, I don't know how I could get through the door at Latham today.
Wow.
What a great firm. But at that point, somebody came out and recruited me, and I had great mentors there, people that taught me transactional work, corporate securities work, real estate transactional work. I followed a mentor to DoubleTree Hotels Corporation, which was based here. He happens to be the CEO of Pebble Beach now. We went on, the folks at DoubleTree were part of the group that bought Pebble Beach, and he's a great friend still, was a good Latham lawyer as well.
Interesting.
And so at DoubleTree, I worked with him, and it was a hotel management company, very much like Troon, modeled around managing other people's real estate. Didn't really own anything. I think we owned one hotel outright. And when DoubleTree merged with Promus Hotels and moved to Memphis, I took the job with Troon and had a little break. There was a little bit of severance and leaving DoubleTree. My first son was being born, and I sort of said to myself, well, I can kind of pick what I want to do. And I think back then I thought I had enough money to maybe just, retire or something like that. It wasn't true. So I met Dana, and we really...
Not when you have kids, right?
No. I met Dana, and we really hit it off.
That's great.
He's a really interesting, fun, well-read person who has a classic entrepreneur spirit, was assembling a team. So he needed a lawyer that had the skills that I had, knew a management contract to help him scale up the business. Had another good friend that worked here as well that brought me to the job that I stay in touch with. And I couldn't be happier. I think people think, I have a lot of lawyer friends that are like, oh my God, you're the perfect job, golf. I think if you want to play a lot of golf, you should, be in insurance or law or something like that. If you want to work in golf, come to work in the golf industry. So I can't complain. I play some great places, but I don't play. I'm not playing golf every day.
It's funny because I have friends in the restaurant industry. My family has restaurants, and everyone thinks it's so glamorous, but then it's like,
we're in the business of golf.
You're in there,
we love golf. I'm passionate for golf. My colleagues,
but this is hospitality,
are passionate for golf. But we're providing, services, and that means you're not out playing every day.
No, and when you have that many locations, over 30,000 employees, how do you think about and manage growth? Right, like when you think about talent, recruitment, maintaining that high standard of quality with new locations, how much can you handle? I mean, is it just continued growth? Are you happy with where you are? What do the next 5 years look like?
Well, we're going to continue to grow. We're private equity sponsored, and part of their thesis is that we can continue to grow the company. But you hit on what really is the key to growing the company. I say this often, so my colleagues will be used to hearing me say it. It all starts and ends with the people, and in particular, the people at the facilities. So the corporate team provides a lot of great tools and services and support, and it's a little bit of a symbiotic relationship, if you will, but the people at the facilities are the people that are delivering to our customers, meaning you played golf today.
We had a great time.
The experience, and also delivering for our clients. So here at Troon North, we own Troon North, but the other places where we're working in the third-party model, we have clients that are expecting a certain sort of performance. And so that starts and really ends with that on-site team. So we have to make sure we attract the best people. We want to be the place where the best people want to come to work. And as you grow a company, sticking to that culture and feeding that culture and nurturing that culture is really important. Been a huge challenge through the pandemic. You got to keep in mind that the golf was one of the sports that stayed open.
Yeah.
We can talk a little bit about that. We benefit a little bit from what was a tragedy, a human tragedy. And people had to come to work. You know, you don't work from home if you're working at a place like this.
Sure.
And so supporting those people, attracting people back, making them feel safe in the workplace, giving people a career path. I think one of the things that Troon has done a good job of that's attendant to its growth is provides the opportunity for people to move up at a facility, to move out of a facility to another facility,
Sure.
to move internationally, if you like, to move into the corporate side of the business. So that's, you know, that's a big focus of our senior team.
That's right.
How do we attract people that, you know, really want to make a career, that have a service heart, a service mentality, and want to make a career in what we think is a leading participant in the industry.
So let's talk about the sport of golf. And you alluded to the pandemic and kind of participation in golf. It seemed to grow dramatically. So how do you think about the future of golf and getting a younger generation and keeping it exciting? And what's your kind of the state of golf? Are you a purist?
Yeah.
Or are you like with Justin Timberlake and Tiger Woods in Times Square? Or
well, you got a lot of questions.
There's a lot. There's a lot.
Yeah, I can get on my stump on this one. And if you'll indulge me. So going into the pandemic, there's no denying that the pandemic was a generator, a catalyst, if you will, for the game of golf. And where I started was, you know, earlier is where I want to start this. We're talking about a human tragedy. Yeah. And we were running multiple businesses all over the world, all impacted by the pandemic. That being said, coming out of that really negative experience is something positive for the game of golf. But the reality is, before the pandemic, there were green shoots already. You had a game where a lot of times at Troon, we'd be sitting around talking about what are we going to do as the demographic for the core customer of golf continues to age, kind of that baby boomer. I'm on the National Golf Foundation board, and you know, they get a lot of statistics, and we talk a lot about this. And active efforts for youth participation, you know, people started coalescing in the industry groups. How can we grow the game? How can we attract people of color, you know, women golfers, broaden the base, if you will? How can we get more kids? Those are some green shoots that we're working hard at. Fortunately, golf became cool again in some respects. You have a younger generation. I heard this phrase from somebody recently from TPG, but kind of the Tiger Cubs, the Jordan and Ricky and, you know, the guys that admired Tiger became the center of the game, both from a playing and social media. So social media picks up on that. The sport's becoming cooler. Athletes are gravitating towards it. Celebrities. You're seeing fashion in golf for the first time. You're seeing television. Like your hats and your balls. Yes, exactly. And so that's evolving. And then the biggest green shoot, if you will, off-course participation, which is a fancy way of describing Topgolf.
Yeah.
When Topgolf came on the scene, green grass golf was you know, fearful, like they're going to cannibalize the game. The reality was, it's not cannibalizing the game. It's opening the game to more people in an open and easy way to access
rising tide, right?
What can be a very hard sport. So if you look at the National Golf Foundation statistics, they have a Venn diagram that literally shows the growth of the game. One circle being off-course participation, middle circle being both, right-hand circle being green grass only. And from, say, 14 to 23, that left circle has grown dramatically, growing the entire group from 27 to 41 million participants, probably 45 million participants this year. And if you think about it, anything that gets a golf club in somebody's hands, where they're swinging it and getting a positive feeling or feedback, they're at Topgolf, they're with their friends, they're wearing what they want, they're hitting the ball, and all of a sudden they're like, have what the National Golf Foundation, Joe Bettitz, the leader there, has coined shot nirvana. The first time you hit a golf ball, where you want to hit it, at the trajectory you want, you get that feeling in your hands. That leads people towards what we call more traditional golf. Playing golf here. And so those things all juxtaposed against the pandemic. where all of a sudden you can't really do anything.
Yeah.
What are one of the things you can do? It's play golf.
Yeah.
You have all these people that are kind of feeding that way.
Mm-hmm.
You have the people that are at home. Maybe they left the game, they pick it back up.
Sure.
Maybe they're coming new to the game because I got to get out of my house.
Yeah.
All of that you can see in the growth of the game. So it's a long-winded way of saying it's a very positive time for golf. There's a lot of positive momentum in the game, and there's a broadening of the game for people, all people.
That's amazing.
Traditional game is growing, off course is growing. It's a good spot.
And then these kind of activity centers like Tiger Woods and Justin Timberlake, and that's just an extension of what you're saying,
Yeah,
right?
so
I mean,
we have Troon's in a joint venture with a leader in screen golf.
Okay.
So if you think about golf on a spectrum, and if you started, let's just say at sort of putt-putt,
Sure.
and you worked your way to playing golf at Augusta.
Yep.
That's the spectrum. And on that spectrum, you've got top golf, right? So if you got kind of putt-putt, you're moving to top golf. Screen golf sits somewhere between top golf and green grass golf.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to see that in the TGL that's going to come out after the first of the year. They're going to play a professional league into a screen.
Interesting.
Tigers, a big part of that. And that's going to introduce the American public to playing golf into a screen, which is what, most of the people in South Korea, for example, that's how they access the game. That's Golf Zone's a big company in South Korea in screen golf, because there are only 500 golf courses and there's a lot of people that want to play golf. And so they access in a different way. All of it is golf for us.
Yeah. So I was just distracted by the bobcat behind us.
That's excellent.
You can literally never know what's going to
That's excellent. That's our resident bobcat. You think we're at Disney? You think we're at Disney, right? Sorry, kid.
I wasn't
I think you're safe.
That
I don't come up here as often as people think, and so I hear about the bobcat, but there he is,
really
or she
cool.
is.
That's incredible.
That is cool. Let's stop for a minute and have a look at that.
That's incredible. And it's so funny because I was just about to lead into like what I think is the biggest threat to golf, and then I saw the bobcat. But I'd be remiss.
Biggest threat to Ken and Tim
is the bobcat. But in just kind of joking a little bit, but like talk about pickleball, right? Like, I mean, what do you think about new sports just popping up and how quickly there's an obsession created? I know you dabble in racket sports and you're kind of expanding, right? But like, is pickleball a threat to this progress that golf is making?
I played tennis my whole life. I love tennis. Both sports are sports I love, golf and tennis. Troon does more than dabble. We have a fully developed racket sports division. We got Peter Burwash as a brand, and then Cliff Drysdale Tennis. And if you talk to our racket sports professionals, like pickleball is in some respects like the same type of phenomenon as Topgolf.
Yeah.
Like all of a sudden, all these people that maybe couldn't play tennis at the level they wanted to play, or maybe they were moving past the age of playing tennis. There's this racket sports opportunity for them that they love and have become passionate for. There's no denying the popularity of pickleball. I love playing it. I love playing tennis. It's an easy sport to pick up, and it's just continuing to gain momentum.
Yeah.
Not a threat to golf.
Yeah, fair enough. So we've talked a little bit about the hospitality and leading teams and the culture. Talk a little bit about the real estate of golf. Like, what don't people know about how you approach kind of large sites, master plan communities? When do you get brought into conversations, right? Like if somebody's building a site, are you early in the conversation? Are you taking over courses? I'm just curious, like, deal structure behind the curtain.
If you go back to the beginning of the company and sort of what has happened over the last 25 years, there was a point in time where the NGF was calling for a golf course to be built a day in America. Think about that.
That's wild.
And there was a year where a golf course a day was basically built. The company, because it started here around this development, which started as an 18-hole golf course, but a real estate developer saying, I want to unlock the real estate value around the golf course. And the nuance being, to that point, there really hadn't been a lot of that occurring around a daily fee golf course. It was normally a private club. And when this golf course was built, the city of Scottsdale was not willing to allow another private club to be built. And Dana convinced the developer, I think we can build a high-end daily fee golf course that can still unlock the real estate value. So from that point forward, say the first 10 or 12 years of the company, we helped a lot of developers replicate that model.
Tremendous value.
Yeah. Then you had a period where instead of golf courses being built and open, they're being closed. If you look at the last 10 years or so, there's a net closure of about 1,700 golf courses in the US, which has been good for supply and demand. So the company's focus pivoted away maybe from helping people develop golf courses, because there weren't a lot being developed, to operating existing golf courses. And but you know, look, we still have that DNA as part of the company. We've got one of Dana's original partners, Ron Despain, was a civil engineer, helped build this place. He's still a part of the company. So
wow. Talk about the international growth. I mean, what countries are, you know, adding or leveraging your resources and skill set, and how do you think about global growth versus domestic growth?
We have a strong presence in the Middle East, UAE and the surrounding countries. We've got a nice presence in Asia, Vietnam, Cambodia, and the like. Our international business is another thing that Dana and the team sort of crystallized around as they thought about how do we really legitimize Troon as a global company, right? Which answers itself basically, and continue to replicate those hospitality companies that we admire and you know, want to sort of be like, Four Seasons and the like. And so that business has been successful for us. There's a lot of opportunity. The model's a little bit different. We don't employ people the same way that we employ people at the locations in the US, but there's growth opportunity. Continental Europe, the UK, the business in the Middle East remains strong.
So in certain markets where maybe you don't have the land to do full golf courses, are you expanding on just management, hospitality management? Is that going to be a growth
that's not really our focus.
Right?
I think we're, as I said, we have the racket sports division. We run a lot of food and beverage. So there's a lot of food and beverage expertise embedded in the company. We have a separate division, real food hospitality strategy and design, that we bought and left as a sort of a silo company to be able to provide F&B expertise into the portfolio, but also provide it outside. So we run some standalone restaurants. We have a construction division inside the company. We have an events division inside the company. So, you know, the company has grown off that center core business of third-party management and sort of grown circles out, but circles that make sense, you know. Screen Golf, joint venture with Golf Zone. There's not a green grass golf course, but it's golf oriented. We're serving F&B. It's an you know, an entertainment opportunity.
So talk to me real quick about the economy, right? Like interest rates go up or the economy goes down. Does that impact your business day to day? Are you pretty consistent? Like, how's the economy
We're
playing?
just like any other business, whether it's corporate or our facilities. We're impacted by inflation. We're impacted by all of the factors that are hitting the economy. To date, demand for golf has remained strong, so the businesses remain strong. You know, coming out of the pandemic, private clubs were full. That was a place people felt safe during the pandemic, and so initiation deposits have grown. And I think in this market in particular, and some other markets around the country, Florida, very hard to join a private club. Waiting lists and the deposits are higher. So the health is there. The rounds remain strong. I think you'll have another record year of rounds of golf this year. Just came out of the NGF's annual symposium, and that's what they revealed. Rates remain strong, you know, so the economy, I think we're all looking ahead, but to date, we've sort of weathered it relatively well. I have to be careful when I talk about things like that, because if you think about our business, the corporate business, we're involved with literally 800 different small businesses. Every business is in a micro, you know, competitive environment. And so every business is a little bit different, but on the whole, things are pretty positive.
So kind of wrapping up, we're here in Arizona. This is my third time in Arizona, I think in 3 years. Diamondbacks are in the World Series. Massive amounts of battery manufacturing, EV, like Arizona seems kind of hot. Like what's, you know, you're based here, this is where Troon's headquartered. What have you seen in the state over the last 10 years? I mean, this is incredible.
It's grown dramatically, and Arizona's doing well economy-wise, attracting a diverse set of businesses like you described. You can't help but be in love with the Diamondbacks. First game tonight we'll be excited to watch that tonight. Yeah. And yeah, we're bullish. I think we feel fortunate that in a very golf-centric environment, we're based as a company, and that's been good for the company overall. And you got to love the economy here.
Well, listen, we are so grateful to have had the opportunity to spend time with you. Excited to be at Troon for the next 3 days.
Perfect.
As a gift for you, I know you need more golf stuff, but we have our custom Coffee with Ken golf shirt.
Thank you.
Golf hat and some golf balls.
Oh, well, that's perfect. I've played Troon North enough to know you need as many of these as you can get.
And I was going to say, for all your future guests here, it's a bit of a scavenger hunt. There's probably going to be plenty Coffee with Ken balls out there over the next 3 days.
Be careful when you're out there, because there's snakes and other wildlife that you might run into. I've got something for you right here. Hold on.
Oh, there we go.
So, Ken, thank you so much for taking the time to come out.
Oh, my gosh, this is great.
Thank you for setting up. This is one of my favorite hats that Troon North does.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah, a little bit of Arizona there for you.
That's amazing.
I got to tell you, I know the kinds of people you talk to. I feel like I'm not necessarily worthy of this conversation. And so I appreciate you taking the time and learning about Troon.
Listen,
proud of our company, proud of my colleagues. There is no Troon without all the facility people and the people that I work with at the corporate office. So it's a pleasure to describe it.
Just to echo on that, I mean, we didn't spend much time on it, but to your point, there's like 800 small businesses you're dealing with and all the vendors, right? And for what I've always been passionate about, it's small businesses, entrepreneurism, and that's exactly what you're doing here and building nationally and internationally. So
well, thank you.
Thanks for what you do.
Real pleasure.
This is fun.
Yeah.
Thanks again.
Thank you.
All right, everybody, coffeewithken.com. You can catch up on this conversation and find out about future ones. We're also on Spotify, iHeartRadio, and Google Play. Until next time.